dedicated shopping hours for our most vulnerable guests, providing masks and gloves to our team members, and offering contactless shopping options through the Target app, like Drive Up and same-day delivery. We are here for you now more than ever, and your health and safety is our highest priority. Learn more at target.com/a-bullseye-view.
New Dunkin' Refreshers. Vibrant fruit flavors like strawberry, dragon fruit, and peach passion fruit. B vitamins and energy from green tea. All under 200 calories. Order ahead via the Dunkin' app for a contactless way to order, pay, and pick up in the drive-thru. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Amazon is hiring near you. Earn a competitive wage and start as soon as 7 days. No resume or experience required. Health and safety are a top priority with all of Amazon's roles and sites. Amazon is taking precautions in their buildings to keep people healthy. Go to amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, it's your girl, Shelly Show Williams, Phillie's Oprah, host and executive producer of Single on a Saturday Night. And guess what? I've teamed up with DJ Kid Disco. He is the king of the podcast, and we have Zoom Your Podcast Masterclass. Have you ever wanted to start a podcast, learn how to be a Zoom professional, throw a virtual party? Now is the perfect time to learn all about it in Zoom Your Podcast. Go to ShellyShowWilliams.com or go to Instagram at ShellyShowWilliams or at DJ Kid Disco. DM us. Find out more information. This class is a must-take class. Hey everybody, it's Shelly Show Williams, Phillie's Oprah, executive producer of Urban Expressions, Single on a Saturday Night, but I am a business, social media, and media coach. And if you're looking to show up on social media with a purpose, I have a course for you. Have you been struggling as an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to get people to engage, how to get people to buy, how to get people just to see you on social media? I have just a course for you. Please go to ShellyShowWilliams.com to find out more.
I don't know what's going on with this. Why is it doing that?
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
Yo, what's good? This is Tracy Lee, and you already know I gets down with the get down, man. Grown Folks Radio all day.
Hi, everybody. This is CYNDA Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Grown Folks Radio.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing on?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Is this thing on? Wait a minute. You know what? It's not even on. I'm sitting here saying it's on, and it's really not on. Wait a minute.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Hello? Is this
Hello?
I'm stupid this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Melanated Morning Show. Who am I? DJ Kid Disco.
That's who you are. My goodness. That's sad if you don't remember who you are, my dear.
I'm having a moment.
So am I, trying to figure out this picture here.
It's Wednesday, y'all. That means that it is Sea Breeze Day.
Yay! There you go.
Sea Breeze.
Hey, you know what? I'm hot. I put this dang on sweater on, and I feel like it is like burning me up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's burning me up. And I know we're on now, but I'm telling you, when we take our next break, I'm changing. Because I'm about to pass out. And I'm hot. I'm gonna put my fan on me now.
She ready to do a Patti LaBelle, y'all.
Yes, I'm gonna change. I am going to change in between. Because I got the sun beaming in on me right now, and it is really warm. It is super, super warm out there. Wow. Today it's going to be 50s. Yay. but I did not dress. Maybe if I put the window up, that'll help too. I got the fan on. That's already helping. But
You know
what's
you
up,
sound,
man? Hmm?
you know you're sounding real 50ish right now.
I am real 50-ish. I am. But it's not, it really truly isn't a 50-ish thing. I think if anybody was sitting where I'm sitting with the sun beaming in on them and a sweater on and the heat on in the house, they would be hot too. I'm very hot. So we're going to have to change it.
So let's just jump right into the breaking news.
Okay.
Um, there's so much of it. We broke the news. Well, everybody broke it. The whole world broke it yesterday with Margaret Keenan and I forget his first. Oh, William Shakespeare. How ironic. Took the first two vaccines shots yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And Dum Dum turns around and has the there was a summit, and he didn't invite the Biden team because he says, well, we still don't know who's going to be the president. No, you still don't know what administration is going to be in.
That's why only his fanatics even watch that crap. Don't nobody care.
So, here's what happened yesterday. They raided that woman's house who's DeSantis, the governor of Florida, raided her house. She was fired because she blew the whistle that he was lying about COVID. The whole COVID, he was lying about the statistics and all of that. And he had his special force raid her house and says, "Oh, I know nothing about it." And so last night, another Republican leader who knows the story, resigned, came on CNN, and told the real story. No, he knew all about it because that's his personal force.
What are governors doing with personal forces? I don't understand that. How do governors have personal forces?
Damn.
What they say that there's issues with us and they've got personal forces? What the heck? That sounds militant. That sounds dangerous. So you don't like what I do, so you're going to send your special forces?
And they raided her house, and they said and this guy, I forget his name, he's a criminal lawyer as well, so he read the warrant live on CNN. He says there was nothing on it. It was too broad, and all they took was her computer, and they took her phone because she started an organization online that's telling the truth. She's running a couple business, so they took her phone, and why that's a big deal is because all of her contacts, who she was talking to, who was telling her this,
unbelievable.
Now they're all exposed because they took her phone, and that's why they wanted to do it, to shut her up.
Wow, there are so many criminals. This is one of those cases, and it's been happening a lot this year for me, where I believe in karma. I really do. But I don't necessarily believe karma happens right away. It might even not happen now. I don't know how these people are going to have to reap what they sow. I don't know. It's none of my business how that happens. But oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. It's just insane what these people are doing. They're so out in your face criminal.
Mm-hmm.
They're in your face, like not even trying to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they are trying to hide. That's why they did it. That's insane. That's insanity. That man, if those people vote him in again, oh my gosh. They don't understand the world that they're creating. They just don't get it. They don't get it. Everything that this country's supposed to stand for, freedoms of speech, freedoms of of all these freedoms are meaningless to people like this. You're going to break in someone's house because she was telling the truth about you. There goes freedom of speech out the window. I'm going to take your phone. I'm going to take your computer. I'm going to take the way that you're communicating. You are not a terrorist. Now we got plenty of terrorists out there walking around with their guns in front of people's homes, threatening them while as they watch Christmas movies with their children. But they're okay. Let's let them do that. Let's let them stand outside someone's house and threaten their family's life, an elected official. Okay, let's do that. But you better not tell the truth about what we're doing, or we're going to send a special force into your house. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And here's the flip side of that. Let that have been a gang of cats from the ninth floor, as I always call it. You know, from the projects came up there.
That ain't even worth saying anymore, because everybody knows that what they can get away with and what they can do. I mean, the Black Panthers showed us that. The Black Panthers showed us that we can't stand out in the streets with our guns and chant nothing, or they're gonna kill us all. That's what they showed us. But them, they can just do anything they want at any time. They can do anything they want. Did you tag me on Facebook?
I sure did.
It never comes up. Anyway, it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating, but I gotta believe that there it is. I got it. Okay, there is a higher power that's running stuff. You know.
Well, speaking of higher powers.
Hold on.
I sure did.
All right, I turned off the sound. Okay, there it is.
That answers that question, doesn't it?
That answers that question.
Speaking of higher power,
he
thought that he was going to be able to handpick people in the Supreme Court that was going to help him.
You know he's mad. You know he's mad.
He is hotter than
He is so hot. It was
a one-liner.
They were supposed to do what he thought. I think they pulled a fast one on him. They just played the game so they could get into power position.
So they could get in there.
They can get in there. I think they just said, okay, let me just play with this. Let me just go along with this thing and with this crazy man publicly, so he likes me and put me in a position of power so I can maybe do some stuff.
Yo.
That would be some karma. That is some karma.
It is. It was a one-liner. Basically.
I saw it.
Basically, we not dealing with this bullshit. Dude, you don't have a case. It's amazing. And by the way, for those of y'all that didn't know, I know, and I'm not trying to be morbid or ignorant or nothing, but I just think it's karma at its best. So let me just make this another announcement. Guess what, y'all?
What?
Rudy's got it.
Oh. Okay. Oh, man.
That's karma for your ass. In case y'all didn't hear me, guess what, y'all? Rudy's got it.
Yes, Rudy does have it. Rudy does have it.
He was crisscrossing all around the world.
Yeah, and who knows where he got it and who knows who he gave it to.
They can't even begin to trace him. They've been all over the place. Not one mask. And that's the amazing. Okay, speaking of this there's another thing I wanted to touch on too. I'm a little bit concerned about Biden's pick for Secretary of Defense.
Why?
Well,
you know about that? Wow, you're smarter than I am.
I appreciate that he chose a black man, but why choose somebody that it's going, and especially with the Republicans with the 3 Ks, you know that they're going to be against anything you do. So why give them a chance to be?
No, that's it's from what I've been listening to. It's not the Republicans that have a problem with him. It's the Democrats.
It's both. The problem is they're going to have to sign another waiver, and they don't want to get back and forth into that. And if you already knew that he hasn't been retired for a full 7 years, why even do that?
So my question is, why can they do something and we can't? I mean, honestly, seriously, if Biden knows this man for decades, he knows what he's capable of. He knows how he can change things. And he also knows that he will not only respect those in power, but all of us. And he will be the first Black person to be in this position. Why is it always that the Democrats got to do it the old way? I don't understand. I just don't get it.
My thing is, I get what you're saying, but if you know that somebody's going to, that there's a way, that somebody's a, it's like, all right, when I was chief engineer, you know, and I wanted to bring somebody on board, and I knew that they had a recent criminal record and that I couldn't get them in, why even bother? Because you know it's going to be a problem. Especially,
but he doesn't have a criminal record. We're not talking.
No, I'm using the analogy.
But that's not a good analogy.
But okay, well, you know that there's going to be a problem with his confirmation.
Yes, but there's going to be a confirmation with anybody that he chooses.
Right, but you want to make those confirmations as.
So, in other words, maybe we should get all Trump people because you know the Senate's not going to have a problem with any of those choices. Sometimes you got to make hard choices.
No, but you know that there's a possibility that he's not even going to be able to see the other people. We know they're clean. Everything's cool. The Senate, they're going to talk.
He's clean. How is he not clean?
He is clean. The problem is that he's not been retired for a full 7 years.
Okay. All right. I hear that.
By the Constitution, you have to be retired for at least 7 years or sign a waiver. The Democrat,
I understand that. Maybe the Constitution needs to be shifted. Maybe they need to revisit some things. I mean, the Constitution says a lot of things that are not helpful to us. Maybe we need to revisit some stuff, you know, and maybe there is someone better. Maybe there is someone better, but I tend to think that Biden isn't going to make choices based on anything but what he thinks is going to help us.
But again, the problem is if they wanted to really, really harp on that, and it sounds like they can block his confirmation because by the Constitution, he hasn't been retired for a full 7 years. In order to be Secretary of Defense, you have to be fully retired for at least 7 years.
I understand.
The Democrats already signed that waiver for Mathis. They don't want to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and there lies the problem.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, you know, there have been leaders that have come in and shifted things, and they were not good on paper, but they shifted things for the best way for the people. If someone fought for them, and we are in a drastically horrible situation right now, especially when it comes to COVID, and whoever's in that position will have a huge part in how vaccines and all this stuff is distributed. And we don't want no dummies.
Well, them dumbasses had a chance to buy more doses last year, but they didn't, being cheap. Donald being the cheap bastard that he is. And now they're saying we probably won't have enough for everybody until June because these dumbasses didn't buy when they had a chance to buy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
MC Elixir, what's up? Oh, look who's tuning in.
Hi, Crystal.
Philly Beauty. Mm-hmm. So it's just amazing, but you should have saw Lou Dobbs. I know you don't watch Fox News. I do because I want to.
I can't do Lou Dobbs. I can't do Lou Dobbs.
I want to know what every side has to. I want to know what the intelligence side, and I like to hear the ridiculous because I want to know what they think, so I know which way that they're coming. First of all, Fox News is mad as hell. And it's ironic. Here's the irony of the whole thing. Everybody else knows that he lost. ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC. Everybody knows but Fox News.
Everybody admits it but Fox News.
So Lou Dobbs was going on a rant last night. They're actually calling for the Secretary of State of Arizona. He should be taken out in the back and shot. Do you know how dangerous that is?
Also, that guy that they said that about is suing.
Yes.
He's suing the Trump campaign, and he's suing the man that said that for putting his life in danger, and I suspect he'll win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not freedom of speech. That's hate speech.
Really not. It's really not. It's really not.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick, since Philly BEAUTEE is tuning in,
mm-hmm.
yesterday is her day with our show.
Mm-hmm.
You, me, her, and Joe. Shout out to Joe Storm. She did her What's the Tea segment for the first time yesterday.
What's the tea? What is the tea?
She does her tarot cards and does the horoscope.
Okay.
She did 5 signs.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. She did Sagittarius first. I'm a Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm.
She was dead on point.
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
What did you say? She's a gifted spirit?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm. Yeah.
She is a gifted spirit.
I just found that so. I found that so ironic. Yet I was like, wow, damn, she is on point with this. I've never seen nothing like that. Like, you hear about people like that, but I never met one. But yeah. And for those of y'all that are listening that wonder who we talking about PHILLIE BEAUTEE or Crystal Garnett. And Marcus, what's going on, homie? So she's such a gifted spirit that CYNDA actually gave her a call yesterday, a little pep talk, and let her know that we alright. The stars, the moon, the stars, we're all good. I thank you for that. She thanks you for that. You're because you're a beautiful kindred spirit. Seabreeze.
Thank you.
You have this aura.
Oh goodness. You're silly. You are silly.
Don't you do the Namye Roko thing?
I do chant sometimes. I do more praying and meditating than I do chanting. But when I'm really in a state of confusion and chaos, chanting helps.
Because I was getting ready to lead up to, what episode was that?
Oh, that was guided meditation. That wasn't chanting.
Well, whatever it was, the shit works.
Yeah, that's guided meditation is when someone else guides you in meditation. You know, you can do your own personal meditation where you just sit there and do, if it's breathing, listening to your breaths, or if it's listening to a sound like water dripping or a fan or the air conditioner. But then there's guided meditation when someone else guides you on a meditation journey.
Well, whatever it was, the shit worked, because I was going through some shit at that time, if you remember, and I was sitting there with the whole woosah thing, and I'm listening to you, and I'm like, because I'm doing a shameless plug. I do all the production work for the podcast. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, he gets to hear everything before anyone else.
So as I'm sitting there doing the work, and I'm actually listening to it, because of course I'm doing the re-recording them, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
Now I ain't gonna lie, it was working too because I was also inhaling, exhaling other stuff. But anyway, yeah, it just all went together. Inhale the weed, exhale the weed. Oh, this works. So I don't know. I don't know if the chant was calming me there, or it might have been the marijuana.
Well, sometimes it can be a combination of things. It doesn't always have to be. You can use a combination, like some people have an altar. So, and they have incense. So the smells, it's like it affects every sense. And once you can combine the senses, then you can really get yourself in a place of peace and wholeness and connection. And if a person that does guided meditation is smart, they leave long moments of silence. So you're connecting and you're hearing and you're listening. And I know at times, I've been going through some stuff lately, and everybody has, but it just seems like one thing after the other kind of thing. And I the other night I couldn't sleep. I was wide awake I slept 2 hours. Let's just put it like that. And so when fear and worry are making great big exclamation points in my brain and everything's in caps in my brain, I have to find a way to center myself and go back to faith instead of fear. And for me, that's praise. And so I didn't have a guided person leading me in meditation. At that point, I was leading myself. And so I just started quoting scriptures in my mind. And scriptures that shift me, and by finally that's how I went to sleep, because I stopped focusing on what I was worried about and what I was fearful of that I can see right now. I focused on praising God for everything that he's done for me. That's what some people get in the church get confused. They hear meditation and they think it's solely a secular thing. I combine prayer and meditation together, because prayer is when you're talking to God. Meditation is when you're listening to God. And
so can I put you on the spot for a minute?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I want your opinion on tarot card reading.
All right.
What's your opinion of it? Let me just make this. There are a lot of. I believe. Okay, first of all, let me get my opinion first. I believe in it. I believe it's real. I believe it's something not to be played with. But a lot of, because you said Christian, a lot of Christians are like, oh no, and I don't see it that way. So what's your opinion? Because I know you know all about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had to study it and whatever. I come from the church, I'm a very spiritual person, and I know what it says in the Bible about certain things. I think what it is it can be a very powerful tool, but it can be misused. And I think more people have misused it than people have used it for good. Because what happens is, first of all, people make the tarot or anything like that the god, because they're getting truthful answers that they don't understand. I mean, they're like, how in the world does this make so much sense? How in the world is it so right about what's happening in my life? The tarot cards are the god. No, the tarot cards are the tool. The tarot cards are like God made doctors for a reason, Doctors are his tool to help us heal here on earth. Tarot, if used properly, is a tool where God can speak directly through you using a tool. It's a tool, but the problem is so many people have misused these tools and made themselves the god, or made the tarot the god, or made the horoscope the god. It's just a tool that God has given us to use, because God is the one who's created it all, right? So the problem is when people make other things the God, or the highest spirit, then it becomes perverted. And so, yes, I believe all these things can be used for your good. Now, let me be clear. When the tarot says something that seems negative, or a horoscope says something that seems negative, I don't believe that anything is written in stone. I believe that God has given us a tool to warn us about the direction that we're moving in now. So if it says to you, you're going to have some suffering, some people are going to betray you, instead of getting down and sad and deciding this is true, instead you say, okay, this is a possibility. This could happen, and I'm going to be ready for it.
In other words, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen to everybody who's a Cancer, or everybody who's a Taurus or whatever.
Yeah, it's just the stars
Wow.
are lined up a certain way, but how
You know what's
you
funny?
use that information can help you or
You know
hinder
what's
you.
funny?
What?
Philly Beauty said that yesterday. She really is has a natural gift.
And that's what it is, though. That's what a lot of people have to remember. It is a gift. It is not a self-imposed, this is me, this is mine. It's a gift that has been given to them to help others. And
So you
if they,
truly believe she has a gift?
I don't say things I don't mean. Yes.
I know you don't.
Yes.
I know you don't. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Because I've never met anyone before that has that type of gift, and I'm just like shocked, like, wow, this not shocked, but
I have a family full
wow.
of people that have these kind of gifts. So I've witnessed this my entire life. I believe that there are genetic gifts. I believe that family lines, maybe there's a family that has a gift for healing. So there are a lot of doctors, there are a lot of holistic practitioners and whatever.
Do you
Some,
believe in holistic healing and
oh
faith?
gosh, yes. I mean, holistic only means mind, body, soul. It's all connected. That's what holistic means. And it means that God has provided in nature healing tools, again, healing mechanisms that we can use that are not man made. Um, Pharmaceuticals are man made. Now, some pharmaceuticals are necessary, but not everything. You don't need to be on 15 different pills, right? There are things in nature that you can do, or you could shift the way you eat, or you can, make your food more vegetable, plant-based, instead of eating all meat and potatoes, which is just meat and carbs, which aren't bad. None of that is bad, but in moderation is better for your body. You can heal yourself with shifting the way you think. You can heal yourself with shifting the movement, making sure that you move every day. Exercise if you want, move. All these things, that's what holistic therapies are about. When you have an issue, say you're a depressed person, say you've got depression, then there might be something physically wrong with you. So you need to get a physical, get your body checked out. There might be something you've held on to from your past that you need to talk to somebody about. There might be a shift that's happening in your spirit where you need to evolve, or you need to study more, or you need to pray more, read more, and connect more. That's holistic practitioners. Now, usually medical or a Western has only to do with the body. It doesn't take into account all the other things, and that's slowly changing. But a more natural way to deal with any issue that you're going to is to look at all aspects, and
So
you'll have a better change.
what about the? Oh damn! I'm looking at the clock.
Oh, we got to take
Yeah.
a break.
Yeah, but we're gonna get back into that when we come back from break.
And I'm going to come back a little cooler.
A little cooler, yeah, because she gotta change.
I'm a little hot.
Wardrobe change. Oh man. Well, on that note, Cece, you might as well go ahead and do your thing, and
All right.
We get ready to fade to black for a minute. Facebook. That means y'all going to hear the commercial break. I'm sorry, y'all, but you know, it's just how it goes. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
The Melanated Morning Show with DJ Kid Disco and co-host CYNDA Williams. WGFB-FM Radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For the health and safety of our guests and team members, we're here for you. That means frequently deep cleaning our stores and wiping down carts and baskets after each use, reserving dedicated shopping hours for our most vulnerable guests. Offering contactless shopping options through the Target app, like Drive Up and Same Day Delivery.
All right, Facebook, what up? I see as y'all can still hear me. I can see y'all can still see what's going on. We just taking a break. As C Breeze said, she gotta make a quick change. Here's what it is. So what's going on, y'all? Miss Official, what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in, though. Appreciate that. MC Elixir, what's going on? Lightning Lance, my old head, what's going on, man?
Alrighty.
And Seabreeze is back.
Seabreeze is back and better. Whew. Oh, I feel much better. Man.
Yeah, I'm like the Morton Downey Jr. of the podcast scene, of the radio, internet radio scene, y'all. So what? Shut up. Don't judge me.
What does that mean?
All right. Because I'm smoking live on I don't think.
Oh, or what's the comedian's name? The black comedian?
Red Fox used to do it.
No, he's now. Golly, he had his own show on Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. Come on, black guy. He was on SNL. He was on SNL for when Trump won and
Keenan.
Huh?
Keenan used to be Keenan.
No. He's not a cast member. He was a guest. He's a famous. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember his name? Black guy, no hair. He went to Africa. He quit.
Dave Chappelle.
Yes, thank you, Russell.
The PPC Radio Show, and you are listening to Grown Folks Radio. Radio.
He smokes every show. He's a constant smoker.
So we're back, y'all.
When we meet face to face, we're back. Hey, Grown Folks Radio, Melanated Morning Show. We talking about this man smoking. When we meet face to face, you gonna have to like keep on taking your leave of me because I'm allergic to that mess.
I'm not gonna be in your face just blowing. I'm not gonna do that. Wait.
Oh, I forgot to mute. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going. I wouldn't blow smoking. If usually I cut the camera off, so that's what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to finish my cigarette, and Seabreeze and I are going to continue our discussion. Since she said, "Boom," is that better?
I don't care about you doing it for yourself. That's your life. But I'm talking about when we face to face, you
I
know.
ain't ignorant like that. Well,
You're
I am,
not?
but I don't do that. I am.
No. Yeah.
I'm not ignorant, but I'm ignorant.
So we're talking about holistic living.
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect time to talk about that because as you know, I studied to be a hypnotherapist, and no, we're not talking about vaccines right now, Russell. Now we're talking about how to be healthy in a holistic way and how that's different from the Western way for years. They were talking about the holistic way of healing. And when I was a I studied for it, and so I had to practice also. I had clients. I mainly did it for myself because I was always a set shrink. Every movie I did, somebody was crying to me about their lives, and I was trying to help people, and it was really overwhelming me. So I needed to learn some things on how to help people but protect myself. And I had quite a few smokers as clients.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and they were having a very difficult time quitting, and they didn't understand. They thought quitting smoking was all about putting a cigarette down. They didn't understand that smoking is something that you come to for a lot of different reasons. The other day, Monday, we were talking about rituals.
Yes.
For many people, it's a ritual.
It
Um,
is.
you know what I mean? So like every time they finish eating, they have a cigarette. Or whenever they get stressed out, they have a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? And then people don't understand that usually it began somewhere. Like one of my clients, one of his early memories in his life was every day sitting outside with his grandmother, and she would be smoking a cigarette. So that brought him solace, that memory, that thought of his grandmother who he loved intensely. And she was a smoker. And so as soon as he began to smoke, it became his ritual to smoke a cigarette outside, and it calmed him. It gave him a level of peace. And then there's the mental aspect, and then there's the physical aspect. So if you're trying to quit a habit that's entrenched in you, you can't quit by just putting it down. You have to replace it with, especially if it's something that's positive for you. If you hate smoking, it's a lot easier to quit. But if you love it because of what's connected to it, then it's a much easier way to quit. If you figure out, okay, what can I do? How can I replace it physically? Because I have a hand to mouth thing that brings me peace. So maybe you chew on some licorice, or maybe you take water, because most of us don't drink enough water. When you're having that feeling, you do something that's a similar movement. Usually it's something you can chew on. That's why some people start chewing gum, which is good for your mouth health, but not sometimes it's not good for your social health, because
Okay.
if you're like me, you be popping gum.
I got it.
What you got?
It's easy for me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll put the cigarettes down because they ain't bad for you. But I'm used to smoking, right?
Right.
So I'll just smoke more weed.
You can do that if you're finding that you can actually function. I mean, weed is a beautiful thing if you can function. If you find that you can't function because you're having too much, then I think it's probably something that you've got to figure out, something that's along the lines that will treat the issue, but also keep you proactive and functioning in your life. If you start forgetting things and you forget your words because you're so high, that's not good for you, because you're on the radio.
Oh, wait.
You need to be able to function.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm a functional piehead. Do you know 95% of your work that I send back to you, I was high.
Well, you know what? That's cool. I understand, especially weed. It can really open up if especially if you're smoking sativa, it can really open up your creative stuff. It really
And as a
can.
matter of fact, I'm not going to give it away, but the episode she has coming up, it was at episode 32. It was one of my greatest productions because I was high.
But see, that's giving credit to the weed instead of to
Oh.
your creative ability. Your creative ability with or without weed. Don't give the credit to the weed. It just all weed does is take your inhibitors, the things that stop you, and opens them up. So you don't stop yourself. You don't let the garbage of the world or what's happened to you in the past stop you from opening up. And the key is learning how to do that without an external force. I mean, why you need weed to do that? You
Well,
know.
all I know is I was high when you explained the concept to me. And I'm like, oh.
And since we're talking about that, I'm gonna do a shameless plug.
Go ahead, shameless plug.
Since we're on it, this week's podcast that comes out drops Friday noon Eastern on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, and a whole bunch of other platforms. Is the PPC podcast, aka Pink Panty Confessions, and this week is going to be really fun. A friend of mine, her name is Rebecca Roman. Um, is a phenomenal author. She's written a whole bunch of books, and if you're people that are into, usually women, romance novels, this one is a good one. It's called Love Lies in the DA, and I am doing a reading from her book Love Lies in a DA, which is currently free on her website, RebeccaRoman.com, ROHMAN, or Amazon, Apple, Barnes and Noble, Kobo. It's amazing. And this guy here, my friend, my producer, my co-worker, DJ Kadisco, did an amazing job on production.
You forgot little brother.
Oh, and my little brah. He did a really good job. We're the cool thing, if you ever go to my podcast and listen in, you will see the growth and the evolution of the podcast from the beginning when I was doing it all by myself to when DJ Kid Disco joined me and started making them better. You can see how much better the podcasts get as time moves on. And I'm excited about this week. So please tune in on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, or any number of podcast platforms. To this week's episode is called First Impressions.
First Impressions. Mm-hmm. And speaking of shameless plug, moving forward, PPC, the Pink Panty Confessions podcast, has morphed into the PPC radio show, which will debut January the 6th, 2021 at 2 p.m. on Grown Folks Radio and all the other stuff.
And let me be clear that it morphed means that it's now a radio show instead of a podcast. There will still be podcasts. The podcasts lead into the radio show. So whatever I drop on Friday, we'll be talking about on the following Wednesday from 2 to 4, expanded for a 2-hour conversation with my co-host Shelly Shell and our house therapist recurringly, Christina Harmon. DJ Joe Storm is doing our music. Every once in a while, we'll have CJ Julianis give us a financial health update.
CJ, he is so cool.
He is really cool. And then, of course, we have the magnanimous, phenomenal DJ Kid Disco doing production.
I'm just a hired help on this one. I'm just a hired help.
He's making it happen because I don't know how to do none of what he does.
Also, you're right. Only me. You know me. I'm just keeping it real. You know me, old head. For yeah, I've been a pioneer since I was 15. Like,
you're okay. You're okay. That's the thing that gets to me about, I just heard that I think it was United Nations or whoever, the people in charge of supposedly all of health, whatever, maybe it was WHO, have now moved weed to from a 4, which meant that it was like super, super dangerous drug, down to a 1, which means it's not dangerous, but it is
It's not a
addictive.
drug.
They say that yes, it is. It's just a natural
It's
drug.
not.
It's a natural drug. It's natural. It's a plant. It's a plant.
I could grow that shit in the back. I have grown.
But you know what? If you eat collard greens, you ain't getting high. So it has substances in it that can alter your mind. Alter your. You ain't gonna eat no collards and get high and start, doing math problems. Okay, so maybe drugs.
What's a weed overdose? Okay, what's
That's
a weed
what I'm saying.
overdose?
The only time you can overdo weed is if you're doing the wrong kind of weed, and that has happened to me, where I did too strong or too medicinal of a sativa, and it had me there for 3 days, and I was totally paranoid and freaked
Man,
out.
you was high for 3 days?
3 days.
Shit.
3
That's
days.
that Hollywood weed. That's some good strain.
And it triggered some really bad stuff in my life I'm writing about now that's going to be in a book that comes out next year.
You was high for 3 days?
Mm-hmm. 3 days.
God
Scary days. It was a horrible trip. I'll tell you a little. I was really sick and I was in a lot of pain, and a friend of mine was trying to help me out, but she was in the middle of helping someone else at the same time. So she was giving me all this stuff to help me, vitamins and, supplements, and she gave me soup and all this kind of stuff. And then she handed me this big old chocolate bar, and I thought it was chocolate. I didn't look at I was in so much pain and I was suffering so much. I didn't even look at the packaging. I just said, "Oh, chocolate. I could use something sweet," and I ate half of it. It was like this much, where I probably should have had this much, just a
Yeah. When you're doing edibles, you can't eat the whole, because that goes directly to your bloodstream, like instant. Yeah, you can't eat a whole brownie.
So yes, you can overdose in a way. It may not kill you unless you kill yourself, right? But it can be too much. It can be.
So you think it should be legal?
Yes. I think it should be legal. I just think just like alcohol, it needs to be recommended usage, Now the problem is when you make it open like that, there are some idiots that are going to just take advantage and do too much. They just are. But you have to educate people on moderation. You got to educate them on, it's not a good idea to stay high when you're going for a job interview. It might not work out for you. You have to be educated on being moderate about everything.
Take this down. Because I work for myself, but I can say that there's been a couple of interviews I've been on that I was blasted.
Well, some people, if they're used to it, are more comfortable and more gregarious, and they can speak their mind comfortably. But then some people, they lose their tongue. It depends on you.
I've been on interviews where they're like, "Oh, you have to take a drug test." Man, I ain't even gonna play that game with you. I'm high now. Like, thanks for talking to me.
You know what I've heard now? It's coming to this now because they're decriminalizing marijuana. And as a matter of fact, somebody, I can't remember which senator it was, one of them people wrote a new bill for decriminalization, meaning, was it Clyburn? Yes. Maybe somebody knows. Tell me.
Yes.
But making it so that all those people that are in jail and prison right now
are going to be released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there are shifts and changes happening when it comes to decriminalizing it, because it is a plant, and it can be a helpful plant. But just like anything, just like you can have too much water You really can. You can drown if you drink too much water.
Man, you can grow. I remember, hey Russell, you probably remember that. My mom, I'm telling you, my mom used to grow that shit on the roof of the crib. 2 big ass weed plants on the porch roof. Everybody knew what that shit was.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come to, I don't know when, but when if and ever we get to the point where we have the Democrats running everything, which I don't necessarily think is a great idea all the time, but one good thing that will come out of it is they will probably completely decriminalize marijuana
Look
and
at
make
Russell. He remember. I'm sorry, Russell. Remember that shit.
and they'll make it legal. And I think the rule that they're trying to go for is everybody can grow
I think
plant.
whoever runs on that platform in 2024 is definitely going to win.
Mm-hmm.
By 2024.
We'll see what happens at the end of January, and then we'll know. You know, because if we win Georgia, or not we, I won't claim one party, but if the Democrats win Georgia, I believe that we will be nationalized. I mean, will be decriminalized, and it will not be an illegal drug anymore.
Well, I'll say it for me. I'll say it for me. I will be a white man named Bob before I be a Republican. So, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying I'm ever going to be a Republican. I'm just saying I base my decisions on who I vote for based on their actions and who they are,
Man,
not based on their party.
Popeye could be running as long as he's a Democrat. He good with me.
I ain't gonna vote for everybody that's a Democrat. Democrat is just a name. Just like Trump said he was Republican and then completely changed the party. He ain't no Republican. He gave money to Hillary Clinton. He gave money to Kamala Harris. He wasn't no Republican. He just used the Republicans to get in power.
Yeah.
You know, no.
A trained chimpanzee though would be better than him. Like
anybody that is a Republican or Democrat, it's just a name.
Oh,
to me, you just got to know people.
Wait a minute. Look who's tuning in.
Who's tuning
what
in?
Up, William Lee?
Oh, is he? Hey,
Yeah.
William.
He said moderation. For those that don't know William Lee, that's Seabreeze's boo.
Yes, it is.
That's her boo.
Mm-hmm.
Her boo bear.
I got a frozen screen on Facebook. I'm trying to turn it off. I might have to go out of it.
It's not illegal if the Caucasians make money on it. I know that's right.
Russell, I know that's right, bro. You ain't never lie.
That's the truth about anything. As long as somebody's making money at it, all of a sudden it's the best thing in the world. You know, when people start losing money on something, that it's just like, you know, gas and, you know, the fossil fuels, that'll go when they stop making money.
Case in point, prohibition. When they saw how much money was being made by the gangsters, like, oh man, we done messed up. Let's get back into this.
Exactly.
Lottery. So it's against the law for me to run the lottery, but it's not against the law for you to do it.
Exactly. Can I say hi to some people? Some of my family is on here. Hi, my Uncle James. First time. I guess I should have sent him a message about this long ago. I'm very excited. My cousin Brenda. And then my man, my Aunt Annalise on here, my brother Fred, my girl Adrienne. Oh, no, that's not what it is. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. These are people I invited.
Yeah, we all excited.
I am so not smart sometimes when it comes.
Because I'm looking at the joint like
I don't see these people. But Brenda is on here, and William Lee, and Megan, my sister, who we have to have on the show.
Yo, I'm looking like, wait a minute, I'm high, but I ain't
No. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Are you high?
Can I tell you, Brenda and Megan both are like super, super talented creatives. and
Yes.
both of them, hopefully, I'll have on either one of these platforms soon because
Both. Do both.
yeah, I am so blessed. I know so many amazing people,
The
and so
PPC
many
radio
people are
show.
related to me.
The PPC radio show is booked good because your first guest is
My first guest is this guy who is very talented. He has been around for years. He's one of the original hip hop DJs from Philadelphia. He's been around forever, doing his thing, producer for some great shows. And he's going to be my first guest on the PPC podcast in January and the PPC radio show. And his name is DJ Kid Disco.
Now, speaking of me being a hip hop DJ and all that from years,
Russell King is one of the DJs that I looked up to. So I would like to give him his shout out. Russell King, DJ, aka
My
DJ
first
Mike
guest
Ray.
on the P.
Sorry.
He's one of the old heads that I looked up to DJ wise. So Lance and my mom knew him very well. And yeah. Thanks, homie.
Welcome, Russell. Welcome. Please give us your thoughts.
Uptown. And your second guest on the January the 13th is going to be, I'll let you announce that. Go ahead.
I don't remember. I have to look at my calendar.
God damn.
Sorry,
Okay, I'll do it for
I
you.
don't think I had a who. Okay.
I'll do it for you.
All right.
We were just talking about that beautiful spirit.
Oh,
Gifted
Crystal.
spirit.
Yes, my girl, my
Philly,
girl.
can you announce who your guest is going to be January 13th?
You just did it, didn't you? Okay.
That was-
Crystal Garnett is going to be my guest January 15th from 2 to 4 on the PPC radio show. We are going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about. I don't know yet. I'll know when we get there.
We're going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about. Wow.
But you can imagine Crystal and I together, honey. It's going to be on. I'm
Yeah.
popping. And then Shelly too. Shut up. And then
oh yeah,
all three of us on there. And then, having Christina join us in the second hour with her therapeutic thoughts. Wow, wow, wow. It's going to be a good show.
So that's the day that I'm supposed to just stay in the booth and mind my business because it's ladies talking. My mom always says stay out of women's conversations.
But you know what? I hope you guys, seriously, everyone that's listening right now and that will listen later in the archives, please put a reminder in your phone that if you're around and you're able to turn on the radio from 10 to 12 and 2 to 4 on Wednesdays, do it every day if you want to. Grown Folks Radio is every day.
I was going to say, don't just do it on Wednesdays.
I ain't just talking for you. You got to talk for you. Woo!
Ooh.
Boom, boom, ba-da!
Oh, wow. She hit me with that, John. Did she hit me with that? Wow. You know what? It just makes me want to. Wow.
You know what? I am happy to do commercials for Grown Folks Radio. It's my home.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
I love. You know what? Speaking of movies, before we go to break, that's one of my favorite movies, A League of Their Own.
I gotta revisit it. I do remember loving it, but I'm introducing to Sophia to all these great movies over the years. So that's one I'm gonna have to say, girl, you gotta watch it.
Wow. Yeah, A League of Their Own. It's a really good movie. It's a true story. And it's a really good movie. Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, as you heard, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good movie, and I just loved the way it went from Tom Hanks' character from being the manager of the all-girls group all girls team for being a degenerate drunk that didn't give a damn to actually giving a damn about those women and really taking it. It was really good. It's like the women's version of the, and I wish they would do a movie on this, the Black Negro League. You know?
Oh, they will. All this is coming, believe me. And before we go to break, I remember when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the new Forbes list for the top whatever women this year, and a good deal of them are over 50.
Ooh.
We some powerful women. Yes, we are.
So, grown folks, you're going to hear the commercials. Facebook and YouTube, you won't hear it. So, yeah, we can ready to go to break. So that means, wait a minute, I'm going to play. You know, everybody loves this commercial break the way it goes. Seabreeze.
Okay.
Wait.
The Melanated Morning Show with DJ Kid Disco and co-host CYNDA Williams.
After these messages,
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For the health and safety of our guests and team members, we're here for you. That means frequently deep cleaning our...
I'm going to run to the, can't hear you. All right.
Okay, Facebook. Okay, Facebook. Negative $5 you can win because I ain't got no money. If anybody can tell me where that after these messages comes from, who remembers that? Wait a minute, can Facebook hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Seabreeze? Yes, no, maybe so. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. For some reason, I can't hear. Oh, that's because she. Oh, I was looking at the screen. Okay. Well, okay, Facebook. Back to you. Oh, she went to the bathroom. Oh, yeah, I see it. All right. Channel 6. Yeah, Channel 6. Yup, that was it. Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars. Wow, that was my movie. That was my movie, Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars. Wow.
We're going to have a guest, I think, calling in, so.
Okay. Okay. Bingo Long, Russell King said, remember that movie, Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars?
Ah, yes.
James Earl Jones. Wow. Wow. Now that's going back. That's classic. Mabel King. Okay. I'm watching the boards.
ShellyShowWilliams.com to find out more.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
Yo, what's good? This is Tracy Lee, and you already know I gets down with the get down, man. Grown Folks Radio all day.
Hi, everybody. This is CYNDA Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Grown Folks Radio.
Grown Folks Radio.
We are back.
We are back. You can
The
tell
Melanated Morning Show.
my dumb self forgot to mute again. I keep doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a minute. Boom, there we go. Okay. Melanated Morning Show. I keep doing it. Maybe I smoked a little bit too much.
See? You can do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can do that.
For the record, I haven't smoked since before the show because I ain't trying to be super ignorant. Like, we all know that I smoke like a broken stove, but I ain't got to show it. So for the record. So, real quick before, because you said we might have a guest calling in, so that's cool too. Real quick, I want to do another question of the day.
Okay.
Okay. And this came from a letter that I actually got a few years back when I was on Power 100. Guy writes in. His wife, they're married for 10 years, right?
Right.
His wife is a corporate person. She goes on a lot of business trips, and she usually goes with her assistant, female, whatever. So one day he calls his wife like he always does, and she forgot and left her phone on her desk. The assistant answers the phone. So, the guy's like, oh, okay, well, And he thought that was kind of strange, but didn't say nothing then. Why is she answering her phone? Like, what kind of assistant is that? It's her personal phone, not a work phone. So he gets home. He's like, I see you left your phone at work. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I called you. Your assistant answered. Oh, yeah, That's strange. But then pay it no mind. Goes on about his business. Then he gets a text a couple weeks later from the assistant, says she really needs to meet with him. So then he does, and she tells him that she says she has to reveal it, being a decent person, whether that his wife is actually having an affair.
With who? Who's the affair happening with?
And that his wife is getting ready to leave him with the person that she really goes on the business trips with.
Which is who?
Which is, hold on. The assistant.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's the question?
The question of the day, is she wrong for calling him and revealing that, or is something wrong? Because here's where I was at when I got that letter. Okay. First of all, she was wrong. She was trying to be messy. She was trying to force the situation faster than what it was supposed to be, trying to cause chaos. He wanted to know, what could he do? There's nothing you can do. She's telling you that she likes women. That's not a fight you can get into, dog. Like, you're not going to win that fight at all. You might win it if it was another dude. But clearly yeah. More important, how y'all married 10 years and you didn't know your wife was gay?
Okay. First of all, we don't know that she is not bi.
Well, whatever. How he didn't know it? How was it that y'all was married for 10 years and you didn't know this?
Oh gosh, there are so many. I've been in that situation where I've been with a gay guy before and didn't know it.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Business just picked up in here. Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about long term, but I've dated guys that they were not your stereotypical flamboyant kind of gay. They were very straight acting, Very,
Oh,
there's a lot of gay men who act just as mannish as you do, but they're gay. They like men, and you cannot know it unless you got a gaydar. And eventually, my gaydar went off because I started noticing some stuff, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, we need to have a conversation because I'm getting something from you that's not
Wait a minute.
straight, basically. And
Oh, so your gaydar was going off.
my gaydar started going off, even though there was no physical uh way to know. There was no, you couldn't see him walking down the street and say he's gay. You know what I mean? It just wasn't, he wasn't that kind of gay
He wasn't
man.
a flamer.
He wasn't a flamer, or even some people that aren't flamers, but they're just effeminate, right? He wasn't either of those. He
He was
wasn't
a thug, gay thug.
he was a yeah, he was just a regular guy that was afraid to come out, and so dated women, and just to have
So you were his beard.
no, a beard is when the person knows they're a way to hide.
Oh.
No, you're not a beard if you don't know it.
Oh, so he was confused.
Yeah, he wasn't even confused, I don't think. I think he knew that he was bi. He knew that he liked men, but he was, because of the way he was raised and where he was from, which was the East Coast, it was like you better not do that. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to pretend to himself that he was straight. And he was miserable. He wasn't happy. And I don't think honestly that he ever came out or even did anything about it. But he was definitely gay. And he ended up marrying someone else, and that marriage ended because he's not being true to who he is.
So wait a minute, you came right out and told him, I think you're gay?
Yeah. I mean, I said, what I said was, I think you're confused about your sexuality. I don't know. I don't think you're attracted to me, and I don't see you being attracted to other women either, you know.
But how did you come to that conclusion? Wait a minute.
Based on how his behavior was with certain men. You know, you can see and sense attraction in people if you watch them. I mean, like with my ex, I knew the type of women that he was attracted to, and none of them looked like me. Okay. They were beautiful, dark, ebony women, thick, super academic and smart. And when he was around women like that, he acted totally different. You could sense the attraction, right? You could see the attraction, sense the attraction. And he was.
So it was a woman thing.
For this person, yeah. And so I watch people. I'm a people person. I'm a people watcher, and the way he was around women was like, but besties, friends, girls, people that he cared for. But when certain men would enter a room, it was almost like he'd sit up straighter. He starts talking louder. Not gay. It's just all of a sudden he's like alive because he was attracted. And he wasn't sensing that in himself. He was so completely unaware of his own behavior.
Wait a minute. Huh? Oh, he was unaware of his behavior, but he knew he knew he liked dick. I
don't think he knew he liked it. He was so confused because he was raised in a church and he was raised on the East Coast, Northeast, and he was like, that is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong. And he wanted them kind of men that would talk against gay people.
Oh, one of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was just taught that it was wrong. But his behavior, when a beautiful black man would walk in, he would come to attention and he would be talking louder and what some people might even consider flirting, but not flirting in your normal way, but just talking more, being more gregarious, more charismatic. He would come alive. And I was like, oh, dude is gay. He just doesn't know it. And he's never probably going to ever admit it to himself because he's so jacked up in the head about it that it's just something he's going to have to live with. And I think he's still alone to this day. He
I
married.
mean,
You know,
how I get when a big girl come in the room.
right. I see that when I see my partner, I can tell the kind of women that he's attracted to. It's nothing that you consciously do. It's very subconscious. It's on a hormonal level. You act differently when you're attracted to someone. And the good news for me now is my man. If his eyes go wide when he's watching TV, the girl kind of looks like me. So I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Got you. Like if I ever saw Jill Scott, I'd be
You'd be like,
like, right.
no. Not that obvious, but
Right, Russell, attention getter. I ain't the only one that saw Jill Scott do that mic routine. Don't judge me.
Jill Scott is a beautiful woman. I can understand what you see in her. She's beautiful. She's talented. She seems like, I hope she's as good a person as she seems. You know, she's someone I'd like to meet, just as a friend. There's a few women, that I would like to be friends with that are stars. And my prayer is that there is awesome.
Wait a minute.
What?
Back up. Say 20 seconds time out. What the hell are you?
Okay, but we're not talking about me right now.
No, but it's funny. I'd like to meet a star. Well, what the hell are you?
I know myself. I don't care about meeting me. I already met me. I'm talking about because of playing the ingenue in roles for so many years. It was always the ingenue. That means the
Okay, because I'm ignorant. What the hell?
Russell? Really? She's hard to work with. That makes me sad. Yeah, when ingenue is usually a young woman in the movie that's the love interest to the man. That's usually
Okay.
right. So I've played those roles. So I haven't really been in a position to get to know a lot of women in the business because
all the dudes.
It's always the guys, and I haven't worked, done too many ensemble pieces. I'm hoping one day somebody will stick me in an ensemble piece because I love ensembles. I've done some plays and.
Well, if you ever meet her or get to work with Jill, just give her a message for me.
Yes.
Your firstborn.
Russell says she's hard to work with.
I've heard that. I just didn't want to say it publicly, but yeah.
I hope that's not true. Who knows? Maybe she's like me. They said that about me too, because I wouldn't,
Yeah, you know what?
do certain things.
Yeah.
They said that about me, and that's not me. I'm very easy to work with, but there were haters out there that were mad because I wouldn't behave the way they wanted me to. So they said I was hard to work with.
Y'all hear that? I co-sign that. She really is easy to work with. Look who's here, Seabreeze.
Who's here?
Look on the screen.
Oh, hey, baby.
She's just sitting there lunching.
No, I remember I got two screens happening. Hey, William Lee. Everybody.
That's her.
That's my man. I've talked enough about him. I've been talking about him for as long as we've been doing this show because he's obviously very impressionable to me. I'm constantly repeating things that I've learned from him. This is William Lee, a physical trainer, spiritual leader, nonprofit owner extraordinaire. Welcome. Let's give him an applause to William Lee.
Boo. Do the deep part again. William Lee.
William Lee.
He is her life partner, y'all.
Right. I am struggling with trying to figure out how my phone works right about now.
There
After
you
that
go.
after that big lead up, he tried. What up, bro?
What's going on, guys? But I'm here. I'm slowly figuring it out. You know, I haven't been too many times. I've had a meeting or two on it, but it was on a computer and somebody else was doing most of the work as I was doing an exercise or a program.
You good right there, bro. You good. You good. Welcome. I don't think have we ever had him on the show?
No, because he's usually working, and today he's
Right.
off. Today he's
Boom.
off. So I was like, come on, meet the folks.
Welcome to the Melanated Morning Show.
Oh, I'm
and
happy to be here.
Facebook and all the rest of that stuff. So,
What's your topic today? What y'all talking about?
Whatever we get.
Whatever we feel like. Right now, we were kind of talking about how you can tell if someone's attracted to someone else. He brought up this whole scenario of this woman having an affair on her husband with her female assistant, and we were talking about how you can tell if someone is attracted to someone else and by their behavior and how they act. And I know you being a physical trainer, dealing with a lot of women, I bet you've experienced a lot of women being attracted to you, haven't you?
I feel like this is a trap.
No.
Hey man, I'm about to. Hey, I gotta blog off, man. Being like, this is the trap. This is the trap.
This is the 52 fake out.
No way.
Great question right there.
No,
you like,
it's
I
not.
refuse to answer that question. That is
No, actually, how it morphed into that is because my question was, how was he married for 10 years to this woman and didn't know she was bi, gay, or whatever? And that's when CYNDA was saying, well, people can be married and you not know. And I'm like, but how? And then she was like, you can tell when people are attracted to certain, and that's how I morphed into that. But no, she's not setting you up.
And seriously, sometimes someone doesn't even know. I had a friend for years, my whole life actually. In a way, she wasn't blood, but she's my family, who was gay. She was gay from the beginning. She was always gay. Even as little kids, I knew she was gay, but she didn't know she was gay. And then many, many, many years later, she moved away from home and found herself and realized she was gay. And I remember she came to me and she looked at me with this somber, serious look. I've got to talk to you about something. I've got to tell you something about myself. I'm gay. And I looked at her and I'm like, yeah, and?
Like, I've been knew that.
She didn't know. She really, all those years, it was
So
something.
you been was gay. You just didn't have nobody to be gay with to let you know.
She really didn't know. And she is a religious woman too. Very religious and not Christian. She's Muslim. And she just did not know it in herself. She didn't understand her own feelings, but I watched her day to day and saw who she was attracted to and saw that in her. But and everybody did. She was just the only one that didn't. And so when she was telling everybody that she was gay, she was coming to them with this earnestness and this like, please accept me. I'm like, baby, we've been accepting you all along. You just weren't accepting you.
Right.
Now, you know what? I'm great. Switch gears for a minute since I'm doing this question of the day thing. William Lee, because you're a man, I definitely want your input on this one. I asked this question yesterday, and I made the mistake of asking a woman when I should have been asking this to a man. So, let's just, for the sake of argument, you have a daughter, 26 years old, right?
Okay.
Lives on her own, doing her own thing. You find out from your homie that she's a stripper, that she's working on the pole. What do you do? Now, first of all, the response that I got from a lot of guys, I'm going to go get my shotgun, and I'm going down there to save my daughter, and you're going to get arrested.
Right.
So what's your, as a man, as a father, what do you think about it? Do you think, would you go down there? And
My thoughts would be is I would sit down with her and I would tell her it'd be something that I want to speak with her about. I'd be like, I always wanted to sit down and let's have some conversations. I wouldn't let her know that I know anything about her out working as her side hustle. But what I would do is I would try to find her other things that would showcase her value. And what I would do is talk to her a lot about, valuing herself, the values of being a woman, the value that I see in you, what I expect, from you, what, and to a certain form, I would bring it biblical a little bit, but I wouldn't go too deep into it. I would just say, God looks at you in this way, and I want you to honor yourself this way. This is the way that we should honor ourselves. And I would just draw a nice story up of how, what I'm saying, I expect the most from her, and and what I want to see from her, that I believe that she has great things that she is meant to do. And I would just, build a story around that in a way to not speak on what she's doing, but to kind of speak at what she's doing so that it would possibly register. And then slowly I would work with her. And I feel like that would be the best way to approach the situation, rather than be like, you ain't gonna be doing that, you ain't gonna be doing that. And then I would talk to her about the dangers of the world, what's going on in the world, and how it's dangerous to put yourself in certain atmospheres and things like that. Sometimes we do have to make decisions. And if you feel like you're taking the decision away from our youth, sometimes that's when they're going to do exactly what you don't want them to do.
Okay, now let me play Negro's devil's advocate for a minute.
Okay.
You do remember the part where I said she was 26, between 26 and 30, living on her own, right?
Yeah. I know that. And that's,
so you could have did all of that, and then she like, I like the money. This is what I want to do. Now what? There's nothing you could do.
Well, no, after there is nothing you can do after that. I mean, you got to let her make her own choice. I mean, her final decision is going to be her final decision. You can say how much you don't approve of it and how, you see her doing bigger, better, and greater things. But finally, her decision is going to be her decision until something happens. Now, when something bad happens, then you probably be able to, get her out of the way that she's seeing whatever it is that she sees in a different way.
What if she's in a respectable place? She making bank.
Yeah, she may be.
She's an adult entertainer. That's her field.
Yeah, but is it actually? I mean, she's an adult entertainer.
No, we're not. All right. First of all, we're not.
That's what you got to
look at. We're not talking about the neighborhood pole joint.
Goods or the money. Go ahead.
We're not talking about the neighborhood pole joint. We ain't talking about
Okay, but
yeah, we ain't talking about the local shaky butt. Down the street from the Snooty Fox. I'm talking about actual. Suppose she was really working in the which upscale place where she come home with a couple stacks a night.
I understand that. I still feel it's the same threat though. I feel like she's still in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's upscale, she's still doing the same type of thing.
But she's not in the same tax bracket.
It may not be the same tax bracket, but I feel as though she's still, degrading herself to a certain point. It depends on what a father looks for his daughter to be, and me, myself, I would want more from my daughter.
What I wanted as a father of a daughter that age, what I wanted, no. But I do realize at the end of the day, there is nothing I can do. If that's what she want to do.
I think the bigger question is not, the bigger question is once she makes a decision, whatever you say, how do you accept her and how do you treat her? That's more, because ultimately you can't tell an adult how to live their life. No matter what you think, no matter what you feel, you love this person, so you tell them what you feel, you give them the advice, you try to guide them and support them, as Russell has said. But how do you treat her when she goes against your wishes? That's the bigger question. Do you still respect her because she's doing something you don't want her to do?
You still respect her. You still
Whoa,
respect her.
Russell King. I'm sorry, y'all. My daughter was one, and I talked her into no longer being one. Oh shit.
Yeah, but he was able to get through to his daughter, and she respected him enough and his opinion enough to take his suggestion. But what if she hadn't? How would you be to her, Russell? How would you have been to her? You would agree to disagree. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Disagree? Yeah, we don't talk about work because there's nothing I can at that age. There's nothing I can do. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I mean,
Well, a little bit I disagree because I feel as though, if you found her something, let's just say, she ask her when you do come out and you ask her, okay, so I know you working down at the Snooty Fox or whatever, and this is what you got taking place.
no, the Snooty Fox is the hotel afterwards.
I'm just saying, I know where you work. So why is it? Well, why is it that you do what you do? I mean, find out what's her joy in it. Is it the entertainment? Is she likes to be seen? You know what I'm saying? What's her passion behind what it is that she's doing? And there's possible that she can do some modeling. If she loves to show off her body, she loves to entertain, there's always something to replace, whatever it is.
What if she just love making money, or is she putting herself through school or something?
Who's not to say she can't make money doing modeling? She could be in a magazine making money. There's other ways, what I'm saying, rather than it being so, what it is, but there's a cleaner version of it, and if you help her find that cleaner version of it, I think that
But my point is still the same. Okay, you do all that. You make these suggestions, and she still tells you, "Look, I like what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing." And so, dad, daddy, father, whatever they call you, pops, this is what I'm going to do. Then
yeah,
how do
but
you handle it? I think you going to be the type of person that because someone makes a decision that's against your wishes, you're going to then put her down, not deal with her anymore? Or are you going to still love her anyway?
oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna love her anyway, babe. You know how I would
Mhm.
be. But the thing about it is is there a better way that we can both be happy? Can we both be happy and us finding something that she loves to do and that I agree that's okay for her to do? And I think that if it's my daughter, we'll be able to find a happy medium somewhere. She'll look at what I'm saying and the way that I'm looking at it, and she'll take it
Maybe,
into consideration.
maybe not. I'm telling you, sometimes people, for whatever reason, just got to do what they want to do, if it's what you want them to do or not. And they'll love you and they'll respect you, but they'll still be like, I'm a grown person. I'm going to do what I want to do. And sometimes, especially young girls at that age, because yes, they're young, 20 something to 30 is still young to me at these days. They will do something just because you said not to, just to think that to know that they have control of your life.
Right.
I mean, their own lives. They have to prove to you that I'm in control of my life. You aren't running my life. And even though what you're saying is, it may be absolutely right, it may be they could take that same talent and do something else, but because they're growing up and they're learning who they are and they want to take control of their own lives, they'll do what they want to do. What I have found personally, and I'm sorry I'm a woman, but I'm going to state my opinion because I am the co-host of this show. Um, what I think is, you can love and tell your child what you want. No, I don't know matter how old they can be 50 years old when you're 70 something. You can tell them, but they're going to do what they want to do, and then you got to let them go. And what I have found is, typically when you let them go, they come to your way. 9 times out of 10, they eventually come to your way, but because they were allowed to come to your way on their own, they made the decision that, this, what, I can model instead of strip. I can model now because I decided to do it. I'm not doing it because daddy or mommy told me to. I'm doing it because I'm deciding to do it. And if you, in the beginning, give them the options, guide them, but not try to force them to live the life you think they should, they'll learn from you, they'll hear you, and they'll do it. they'll do it. But if you're trying to control them and tell them this what they gotta do, when they 26 years old, they gonna be in a stripping business for the next 20 years.
And I agree with you, babe, to a certain point. But this is how I see it though. When bad experiences also come their way, life is a great teacher. And when life teaches them that with being this and with doing these type of things, these are the things that come with it, that also helps to help you make other adjustments. You know, life is the greatest teacher. So, and that's what I would look at next. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to do that, then you got to accept everything that comes with it. And I would explain to who it is, my child, what they got to accept. So when they see those things, they'll know that daddy was trying to look out for me. You know, he wasn't trying to keep me from me following my passion or me doing all that I wanted to do. He was trying to look out for me. So I would just let life do what life does. And I would be there for her, you know, when she came back.
All right, let me flip the script for a minute. First of all, my take would be, all right, again, there's nothing I can do. I can talk to you. I'm not happy with it. Okay. First of all, what's the name of the club? I'll make sure I'll never go into there.
Why you going to strip club in the first place?
Yeah, well, I ain't, you know, I would have to worry about that one.
But I'm going to flip the script. What if it was your son?
Stripping?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody have a problem with that if he's making a lot of money. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Women are looked at differently. You know, I think if a man was stripping and he was making $2,000 a night, I don't think anybody be crying about it.
So William Lee.
Oh man.
What? Yeah. Now what? It ain't your daughter. It's your son.
You know,
he can't hang-a-lang.
I would still have that conversation with him. I'd be like, look, man, you got to think about, you know, if you want to be out in the business world. And I would try to flip it to him. I would try to let him know the goods and the bads and whatever, you know, what he accepts is what he accepts. And I mean, you still got the bad things that come along with that. With being in a nightclub, you think about what type of people do nightclubs attract, you know, and I would try to look. So then that's the audience that you have yourself around. And if you know that what nightclubs attract, then you know what type of dangers you could be possibly putting yourself in. The money might be good, but you're still placing yourself in harm's way when you're in those type of atmospheres all the time.
Yeah, because I mean, think of this situation. What if like some married women are up in there throwing themselves at you and they got jealous husbands? That would put you in danger.
It's still a dangerous atmosphere. Then you're in an atmosphere where people drinking all the time. People go there. People go to nightclubs and bars to, you know, usually sometimes to drown their sorrows and their worries. And me, myself, I'm just speaking from I used to run security programs at nightclubs for a period of time. And I seen a lot of those type of characters coming in due to, you know, what wasn't happening at home. You know, my person's treating me like this. I feel horrible. I heard a lot of stories. So, you know, me knowing what's in the nightclubs and what's in probably those type of clubs, I would point those things out. And I mean, if you think about it, a lot of shootouts take place.
Okay, now I gotta play Negro Devil's Advocate again. I'm a DJ, work many a nightclub.
Okay.
So should I not? And I'm gonna tell you something. I've DJed those type of events.
Okay.
I've DJed those type, and I'm gonna tell you what really be in there. Everything that you just talked about is not in there. You know what's in there? A bunch of horny ass women, nasty, horny ass women.
Yeah, that too.
I'm trying to told you.
Well, I mean, mine is just from a security perspective. I mean, you know, I was in there keeping everybody else safe. The DJ also. So, you know, just from a lot of the things that I seen that was trying to make their way in the club. So, I mean, I know from your point, you know, it probably didn't look like, you know.
No, I've seen that, but what I'm saying is
I'm at the door.
But what I'm saying is not just those type of venues that.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I agree. It's just not. You're right. It's just
club
not
on a whole, and it could be a clean Christian club. I've actually, Nope. I'm not lying, y'all. I actually did the cabaret once. I never forget DJ the cabaret. These two, and it was a Christian, based. These two old church women got the tussling on the floor over some young boy that they both were screwing at the same time.
Oh wow.
Real talk. And this a Christian cabaret.
Hey.
And so
So
that
it
means
don't
no
matter.
alcohol was in there, huh?
Well, no alcohol. You didn't need no alcohol in there. All you needed was human beings. Is what I'm saying. That's gonna happen. So what I'm saying, you can't really look at it in that type of because I'm telling you what I see. It's a bunch of horny ass women in there. That's it.
But I think typically a woman is horny because she ain't getting it at home. Okay, so it comes back to what William was saying, and I agree. It's a lot of people suffering, and I think Russell said this also. It's a lot of people suffering that go to a club to live in some denial for a while or try to get away from their problems. But the problem is they bring their problems with them.
No, not all the time. I went to the shaky butt because I was a freak. And I like lap dances. I'm just keeping it real. They wasn't out going on. I was living by myself. I like the shaky butt.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about people that are going there for the shaky butt. We're talking about people that are going there because they're unhappy. That is a percentage of the people that are there.
I went because I like ass.
But we ain't talking about you. We talking about people in general.
The
majority. This is interesting. So you think the majority of people go to the strip clubs because they're unhappy, or they just like?
Well, I mean, think about it. When you go there, I mean, why do you go? I mean, a lot of people do go. Some people do go because they do like to see, they love to see the entertainment. But, a distraction, basically, a distraction from the life that you've been living. When you go, 9 times out of 10, and I always think about it like this from my point. What does a beautiful woman give you when you really think about it? I mean, a very shapely, beautiful woman. What happens to your mindset when you are in her presence or you see one?
All right.
What is it?
All right, let me ask you an honest question.
Well, I'm asking you that question.
Well, it depends. Are we talking from the neck up or the neck down?
No, I'm talking about the whole woman.
Oh, the whole woman. Oh, okay.
The whole woman. I mean, what is it though? When you see a beautiful woman that's mind blowing, what is it for you? What does it do to you?
Spend some money. I don't know.
It makes you spend money?
No, seriously, I don't know. It makes you happy. It makes you intrigued. It makes you all of that good stuff.
Well, I feel now I just want to help you that all those things, it just kind of, to see a beautiful woman, it actually just takes your mind away from whatever you were thinking about. It's a distraction, basically. Sometimes you can look at it as a beautiful woman as a distraction, but she takes you away from the reality that you are currently in. And I mean, you got to think about it. Cindy was a beautiful mind away from, everything that I had going on when I first met her. I was like, wow. When I was around her, I no longer looked at all the things that I had on my plate all the time. And I didn't look at them the way that I was looking at them. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking at. You go to the strip club, you see these women, it makes you kind of forget about, all the things that's going on in the outside world, all the things that you got to take care of. You out there giving this money that you need to put it on a bill, or you need to buy this or take care of that. But you give it anyway because,
you're paying for a service. You're paying for a service.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm a freak. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you lost in a distraction.
Yeah, but
and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just the people that are sick out there, which there are quite a few right now. all the time. There's people are sick because they're unhappy, because they're hopeless, because they don't know what they're going to do, and so they need a distraction. But it's not enough a distraction to stop them from acting like a fool. And that's
Right.
just a small percentage. It's not everybody, but all you need is one person that's carrying a gun to come in a club and start shooting it up for people to die. You don't need the other 99%. They might be there because they're freaky or they're having fun or they just want to whatever. But that one person that's coming in there, that like the guy in the Florida club that went in there.
Well, see, that gets into a whole nother realm where we could go
But I'm saying
from
that
the strip club. That could happen
anyway.
And I've actually had that happen quite a few times where I've been some DJing somewhere and some fool, they get to fighting, a gun come out. It happens.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That 1% is what's dangerous. That 1% is always a possibility, because especially these days, people, the economy's messed up, people are sick, people have lost folks. So going to places where there's alcohol, which releases your inhibitors, you're freer to do things, and that includes sometimes it might include you just having fun and laughing and whatever, but there's also that little percentage that's mad and angry or confused about their own sexuality or whatever it is that comes up in there. And because guns are allowed in most of the country, you can carry a gun with you. You can start shooting just because you're so miserable. So the other 99 people, or other 99% who came there just to have fun, are in danger. And that's why, going back to the original subject, being a male stripper, female stripper is a dangerous thought. If you're dancing at the Met, as a dancer, it's a lot less likely that somebody that's wants that kind of painful a distraction of their pain in their lives. It's easier for them to go and pay $5 at the door than it is for them to go and pay $200 at the Met.
But let me say this.
So your person's safer.
But let me say this too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all do know that ain't nothing new. They've been stripping for centuries.
I don't have a problem with stripping.
That's the oldest. That's one of the.
I wouldn't do it, but I did it for a film in a way. I had nudity in film, so I'm not that's not the issue. The issue is the safety measures. That's what I mean,
it's
talking about.
Well, it's bad now because of this. It's a sign of the times. But the strip club been open for years, for decades, for centuries.
That's not the question. The question is, but I think what he was saying, and I hope I'm not, stepping on your toes, but speaking for you. But I think what William Lee was saying was, when he would talk to his son or his daughter, he would say, "This is not the safest job."
That's exactly what I was saying.
It's really not.
I was just trying to put, what comes with the job. Being in those type of atmospheres brings in these type of people. These type of people are attracted to those type of atmospheres, and that is exactly what I was saying.
But let me ask you this, William Lee. Let me ask you this. Suppose your son or daughter came to you and said, "I wanted to DJ in a nightclub." Would you have the same concerns, the same fears?
I would definitely go over them with the ins and outs, just as being a stripper, being a DJ. I'll be like, this is what you got to pay attention to, and this is what comes with it. I'll just let them know the ins and outs. It's not saying that I'm not proud of what they want to do, and then I would try to find ways to help them do whatever it is they do safe. And I'm only talking from my experience.
So what if they said they wanted to be a bartender in a club? Like they actually went to school to be a mixologist and all that good stuff.
Right. And I mean, it's the same thing. It's still the nightclub. I would still talk to them about the.
So you're not a fan of the nightclub scene?
Well, it's the only reason I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan. I guess it's because of my experience, and remember, I used to run security programs at the nightclub. So, me working the doors and me working the crowd and me understanding what was coming in through the door all the time and what issues people were having on a regular it's kind of mind blowing.
But most times being a DJ or a stripper or the bartender or whatever, we don't get to see a lot of that because that's handled at the door.
Right.
Y'all usually we don't see all of that because it doesn't even it doesn't get a
It
chance
never
to filter
happens.
in.
Most of the people, when we dealing what we deal when we're dealing with what we're dealing with in the nightclubs, most of the people in the club never know that it's coming in. I mean, I worked the door at the nightclubs in my hometown, and I would get at least three to four guns a night, and most of them was carried by females trying to sneak them in their purses for the guys, and rug cutters, blades on a regular, and that's what I seen at the door coming in. I mean, at least 5 or 6 of those, and that just I just felt like more and more as I was in those type of atmospheres where people were drinking and weren't paying attention, because like you said, the more alcohol you have, the more relaxed you are, the less likely you are to pay attention to what's going on around you. And there's always people with hidden agendas that are trying to do things like that. And that's why I'm speaking so strongly on the nightclubs, because I just worked the forefront, the door, and I've seen so much, at the door. So I would really,
security.
yeah.
But here's the thing. Now I have been over the years being in the club. You know when some shit ready jump off because you see, I could just sit there in the booth and watch it. She's ready to slap the crap out of him in about 7. He didn't say something stupid. Here go the drink in his face. Psh, here we go, and we're off. Security.
No,
We just be-
it never got there with us. If we seen somebody arguing, they was thrown out.
No, that's
So
what I mean. You see,
I had a
no, you
zero
see the.
tolerance.
What I
They
mean
was
is you see the
gone.
argument taking place. Like I could be sitting there, and like you could just see the look on her face. Like, what did you just say to me? She great slap the hell out of him. It's coming.
And the thing about it is, you ran a great security detail. Not everybody has that. So that's the whole point of this whole conversation was communicating with your children about working in certain environments and what you got to think about. I mean, even I wish my father prepared me for so many awesome eventualities. He really did. But he did not talk to me because he didn't know about what I was getting into when I got into entertainment. Entertainment, I was constantly dealing with stalkers and with people trying to get me to do things sexually with them to have a job, and I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't know that was going to happen. You would think that I would, but I just didn't know. I grew up in a church, and that I was very alienated. I was very safe, although bad things happen, but I
But
wasn't prepared for it. And it's like in any situation, it's like you got to raise your children when they're not 26. You got to raise them when they're a
Right.
child and
Agree.
prepare them way before 26 years old. Because if you did, then they probably not going to be working as a stripper. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, though. How do you really prepare them? I mean, like you're saying, you didn't know. How was you supposed to know? Why would anybody, normal people think, oh, well, you're going to have to do this to get. No, that's not what you think
And
when you're growing.
it's not, and that's why mentors are so important. It's so important before you get involved with any kind of industry, any kind of any any job, any career, to try to find a mentor so you can know what's up. Because I didn't know anybody like that. I was not in my family wasn't in entertainment. My uncle had been, but it was a different world when he did it. I didn't have any mentors to teach me about the possibilities. Now, me myself, I have talked to lots of parents with children. I've talked to lots of young people coming in about all of this stuff
So would
because I'm a
you mentor?
mentor.
Would you
And
mentor now?
I'm sorry,
Would you mentor now?
I do mentor now. I,
No, I
I
mean, no, I'm saying that wrong. Is there an age limit for your
No,
mentor? Like,
no, 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 there is not. I don't just deal with kids and young people. I deal with maybe there's a 40-year-old that's just getting into the business. You know what I'm saying? People contact me all the time wanting to know what to expect and all of that. And I talk to them. I mentor, people all the time. And in every industry for DJs, like you said you're gonna talk to Sophia about the possibilities of DJing. She's working with a esthetician now that's teaching her about that world. Mentorship is very important for people that are going into new uh, careers so they can know what to expect. And on that note, it's 11:57, so we should probably gotta wrap it up. Gotta wrap it up.
Dang. Time flew.
It sure did. William Lee, you are so amazing. Thank you for joining us today. I always can count on you being very articulate and smart, and he's a good man.
Good job. In other
Thank you,
words,
baby.
that's what she's saying.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
You hung out for the craziness, me being the craziness, you know. Oh yeah, I'm ignorant. I'm you know, there's no point. I ain't gonna fix. I'm guaranteed to say some outlandish shit before the show is over. And did I do it this morning, Seabreeze? Did I?
Oh yes, you never fail. I'm so proud of you.
I never fail. Listen, y'all, Grown Folks Radio, we can already signed off. Stay tuned for Cool DJ Frank and his Lunch Money Mix. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that means who am I?
Philly Beauty.
Philly Beauty. It's me and Philly Beauty tomorrow. So
And I heard there might be some surprises for tomorrow also. So
stuff.
tune in. Tune in.
You just got to tune in. So on that note, Grown Folks Radio, we bid you a adieu. So in fact, we ain't even gonna wrap y'all. We just gonna say bye because we already over with y'all. So bye, y'all.
All right.
Anyway. So Facebook Fluckers. See, I didn't say it that time, Seabreeze. I said Fluckers.
Oh my gosh.
I said Fluckers.
I heard you. Go on.
William Lee, did you hear the Flucker? It was
Now William Lee is really intense about the language thing, so
I said Flucker. But I said Flucker.
I know. Congratulations.
The booper, I said Flucker. I didn't say I'll say Fluck. I'll take the L out tomorrow, y'all. I'm not gonna do it now, but I'll do it tomorrow. All right. Guaranteed. Facebook and YouTube. Now we're gonna sign off, and now you can do your infamous.
That's a wrap.
And Grown Folks Radio. Stay tuned for a whole bunch of Christmas music. For the next whatever.